Many times throughout our lives, we end up hitting a block. Something in your way that just seems to not let you move forward. And many times, it makes you question if all the effort you're putting into moving forward is even worth it. And for many, the answer is a fairly simple if and else statement. If the reward is greater than your investment, keep trying to move forward, else find a different path to take. But then it immediately transitions into an issue of perspective. For example, if you were offered $50 to simply complete a 5K marathon, and let's say you are kind of above the poverty line, well, you would start thinking maybe the reward is not really worth it. On the other hand, if you were below the poverty line or a college student, those $50 will start looking like 5,000 cents. That's a whole week's worth of food right there. Your threshold is what matters. It is all about how important the goal is to you. This simulation I have running in the background is that of a genetic algorithm. This is something I created while stumbling upon said block. Making things is kind of meditation for me. These red circles are called agents. Their goal is to reach the other side, and there are some obstacles between them and the goal. The agents don't know anything at all when they start. They don't know what is good or what is bad. They do not know which direction is correct. All they know is that there is a goal. And they're not programmed to do anything that I say. Basically, I, as their creator, has given them free will to move around and try to reach the goal. I will not intervene, but observe. And you will notice throughout this video that they find a way to the goal no matter what obstacle there may be. For me, the issue was technical. I have been working on a project for a while now. It started off seemingly easy. All I had to do was make some animations and put it into a microcontroller. The project was done the way it was initially intended, but then we decided to switch to a new microcontroller. And this new microcontroller had many limitations. So I have been trying to come up with ways to fit all that code into a less efficient system. But this journey, like countless others, has led me down the path of self-doubt. It has become a block that I don't know how to overcome. What I do know through my experience is that you will always seem to find a way as long as you keep at it. It is when you have stopped trying that you have actually lost. That's quite seriously the answer to most issues. This is a practice you will see integrated into Mother Nature herself. A good example you can actually watch right now is an experiment done by the Harvard Medical School, where they divided a large container into 9 sections, each increasing in the concentration of antibiotics by an entire degree as you get closer to the center. They then unleashed some bacteria onto the agar and watched it propagate. And propagate it did, till it reached the first barrier at least, where the concentration had increased by 10-folds. But the bacteria, through essentially trial and error, found a way to survive at that level as well. And by the end of the video, the bacteria is able to live in a 1,000 times more concentrated antibiotic environment. This is also what you will observe in this background simulation, but in a simpler scale. The agents first develop the sense of what's wrong, which is hitting the boundaries or the walls. Then they develop a sense of direction, a general way to explore that brings them closer to their goal. Now comes the first barrier. This is where they learn through trial and error which direction is the easiest. But then, the second barrier is like threading a needle. You have to enter through a tight gap in the wall. And through countless trials, they figure out a way to accomplish that as well. Now all they have to do is get to their goal. You might be wondering, did I ever complete that project? Well, the answer is resoundingly no. Sadly, all I can do is have a mental breakdown over why I ever took up coding, and after that, I can complain to my boss that we actually should just stick with NodeMCU, not Arduino. I know we don't need the Wi-Fi part, but NodeMCU has everything we need and even more. It has faster clock cycles, more storage, better life, and hella bitches. Anyway, if you're stuck with something that just seems impossible to you, but you know that there are people who managed to do it, the most likely answer is that they probably also just kept at it till they succeeded. And maybe you should do that as well. Or you could switch the paths and go into gender studies. Subway and Starbucks always hires. Well, bye.